Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. So this video is about different entry models that I use. There are namely three of them. The first one is CISD, the second one is iFVG, and the third one is MSS, which is the market structure shift. Let's go through them one by one. Just listen to this video very carefully, watch it till the end so that you understand how and when to use these entry models. So the first entry model is CISD. It basically means change in the state of delivery. As you guys know that price is an algorithm. What we wait for price to do is change its state of delivery, in the sense that once price mitigates an FVG, it has to mitigate an FVG. It goes without saying all these entry models are only applicable when they happen at an HTF point of interest, which in our case is always fair value gaps. So whenever price mitigates a fair value gap and then an opposing candle emerges which closes above the body of the first candle of the opposite direction, this is called change in state of delivery. This means that the algorithm which was having an order flow towards the downside has now changed its state of delivery, and now we can expect that price would continue to go higher, otherwise it wouldn't have changed its state of delivery. If you look at the important points about this entry model, this needs to happen at an HTF FVG. It goes without saying. You can't be going in the air and predicting random CISDs and then double guessing that price would go from here to there, etc. No. Wait for an HTF FVG. Look for a change in state of delivery. The other important thing which I want you guys to know, there has to be at least two or more candles of a similar color overrun by an opposing color candle. Why I say two or more? Because they are high probable. Yes, definitely you can be aggressive and you can take a change of state in delivery just based on one candle. It works sometimes when you have high conviction and there's a potentially high probability setup, but in general, as a thumb rule, it has to have at least two candles of a similar color overrun by an opposing colored candle. The key point to notice is that we want the body of this candle to close above the body. That's why I haven't made any wicks in these candle. In this infographic you don't see any wicks, because this entry model has to do only with the bodies. So you need a body closure of this candle above the upper body of this, and if you just invert the chart for a negative one, it has to close below the body of this. So I hope this entry model is clear. The confirmation level of this is medium, because you're not really expect, this might not be a change in the structure, right? This is just a change in state of delivery, and then you are predicting that now price would continue to go higher, and that's why the confirmation is medium here. The way to enter is you need to place your long order in this scenario at the CISD level, protect the low and target a 2 hour. I'm not going to these discussions of which time frames, etc. I've been constantly telling price is fractal. You can use this in any time frame. Just ensure that these rules which I am teaching you are followed for the CISD entry model. Now let's go to the inverse fair value gap entry model. In this, what happens is, whenever there's a mitigation of a higher time frame fair value gap, you want a fair value gap in the mitigation leg to be overrun by an opposing candle. Meaning, if you look, this was the fair value gap. Before this candle occurs, this was the fair value gap. This was overrun, disrespected, and a candle closed above this fair value gap, and hence this becomes an inverse fair value gap. This means that now we can go ahead and place our entry above this inverse fair value gap, cover the low to be safe, and target your 2 hour or 3 hour or whatever your risk management allows you to do. Key points about this entry model is that this needs to be at an HTF FVG also. an FVG in the direction of the mitigation, this FVG in the direction of mitigation needs to be overrun by an opposing candle. The confirmation level is obviously low here because neither there's a change in state of delivery and not necessarily, and also neither there's a market structure shift. So hence this is a very aggressive entry model. Use it at your own judgment, at your conviction level on your setup. Use this very judiciously. Whenever this works, trades are very quick, but more often than not, if your setup is not an A+++, this will tend to fail. So that's why use this entry model very judiciously. The third entry model is market structure shift. This is one of my favorite entry models. I've built my career in trading through this entry model. Here you want the wick of this candle to be overrun by the body of this candle. The body should close above the wick of this candle. If there is no wick, then yes, it becomes a CISD, but in case there's a wick, you need to ensure that the wick is overrun. And not just that, for high quality market structure shifts, you need to ensure that this market structure shift also happens with volume. Now, how do you identify if the MSS has happened with volume? Is by identifying if the MSS has an FVG or not. Once you identify that a market structure shift has occurred and there's a fair value gap within the market structure shift, what you can go ahead and do is you can place your order at the fair value gap starting point, cover the low, and then again target a 2 hour. So this is how market structure shift works. As I said, my favorite entry model because this gives the maximum confirmation that your structure has shifted at the HTF POI. The wick of the candle of the recent structure needs to be overrun by an opposing candle with an FVG. So these are the three entry models. You guys can go ahead and check out in my Instagram. I have taken trades on MSS, I have taken trades on iFVG, I have taken trades on CISDs. I trade all these three entry models quite frequently, so you'll get a lot of examples on it. And if you have any questions, please drop in your comments. I'll be happy to answer you. Until then, have a good week ahead and have a good weekend. Take care, guys. Bye.